Welcome everybody to today's video. I'm actually going to be doing a series of videos, and I thought that I would do some videos that are geared towards breastfeeding with certain conditions like CF. And with CF, it's going to be we're going to talk about two different scenarios. So it would be a mom who has CF that is breastfeeding, or a mom whose baby is diagnosed with CF and whether breastfeeding is safe. And of course, it's going to be two different concerns, because with a mom, she's got her own set of concerns with breastfeeding, whereas with the baby, the nutrition is given to the baby. Is it going to be sufficient? So there's different concerns with each. So we're going to take a few minutes and talk about both of those cases. So we're going to get right into breastfeeding with cystic fibrosis. This is possible to breastfeed safely despite the fact that you have cystic fibrosis, but it is something that you're going to want to talk with your team of doctors about, letting them know that you want to breastfeed. You're also going to want to let them know that because you're breastfeeding, the medications that you're taking, you want to make sure that they're safe, because medication can transfer through your milk. Letting your doctor know that can help you come up with a plan. Some things that, of course, you're going to need to think about is your calories. You also have to take enzymes, so that's something that you have to consider. Some other considerations is sleeping. You're going to need the rest. You're going to need that sleep and rest, probably a little bit more than a mom who does not have cystic fibrosis. So again, this is going to be something where you may decide to do things a little bit different. You may decide to add some pumping sessions during the day, so that at night someone else can feed the baby so that you can get the rest that you need. You may also decide to pump a few times during the day so that other people can help you feed the baby while you rest throughout the day. So these are some other options that you may have. So we talked about the nutrition is very important, because you need to have the proper calories. And since already you struggle with calories, you're going to want to not only increase your calorie intake, but make sure that you're increasing enough to meet the needs for your baby, but also for yourself. And the same with fluids. You're going to want to make sure that you're getting in plenty of fluids. So far, research has confirmed that moms with CF can safely breastfeed, but that they can still provide the sufficient and the appropriate amounts of protein and sodium. When you're breastfeeding, it takes more energy and it takes extra calories. A lot of times with CF, you struggle with maintaining your weight. And so that's, again, another concern. And so you got to be able to meet those needs. And sometimes you might have to choose the alternative, because breastfeeding might not work in your situation. And you shouldn't feel bad if that is the case. And that's why it's so important that you talk to your medical team and talk about your infant. So say you are a mother who has recently had the diagnosis that your baby has CF. You probably have a lot of questions. And the information that I took this from I'll actually link it in the description below so that you have it to go look at as well. Babies that have cystic fibrosis are most likely going to need pancreatic enzymes with their feeds to just help break down the fat, the protein, the carbs, all of that. Now, some babies need extra calories to help them gain weight and to grow. So you might find that you might either need to pump and add supplemental bottles to already what you breastfeed, or you may have to throw in some supplemental feeds through formula feeding. Most babies need extra fat vitamins, such as vitamin A, D, and E, and some might even need extra vitamin K. Some babies will need extra salt, and sometimes they can do this through a liquid preparation. And if this is needed, it's something that the baby's doctor will prescribe. So, which milk should I feed my baby? Is it possible to breastfeed? And yes, it is definitely possible to offer breast milk and or infant formula milks. They're both suitable for babies with cystic fibrosis. However, occasionally infants will require a special high protein and high energy formula, or a pre-digested feed to achieve the required weight gain. So the dietitian and the doctor that your baby, is over your baby's care, can discuss the best type of milk to give your baby, and basically kind of figuring out what is best for your baby's situation. Because although CF, there are common symptoms, some are, have more of one area that their body is struggling with, say low sugar, or high sugar, or maybe the sodium issue, or the liver, the spleen, all kinds of things. So your baby's doctors will help you come to find out exactly what your baby needs in order to get the nutrition that they need. So always working with your doctor and the baby's doctor, or team of doctors, to find out what is best for your baby. So of course, breast milk is always the best for babies of any type of medical problem, and most babies with cystic fibrosis, because it, of course, contains everything that they will need in order to grow and develop properly at the rate that they need to, especially for the first 6 months of life, because it isn't until about 6 months that they recommend solid foods. So for that first 6 months, your baby just needs breast milk. Your breast milk may meet all of their needs, and then of course they might have some extra things like extra vitamins to take, the pancreatic enzymes. Some of those things might be off to the side, or trying to figure out exactly what meets your baby's needs. But your breast milk should be able to provide for the first 6 months the nutrition that your baby needs as far as milk goes. Now, the nutrients that the breast milk contains, what's nice about it is that they're very easily digested and absorbed. And I know that a lot of people with cystic fibrosis struggle with absorption of vitamins. So what's nice about breast milk is that it is easier than formula to absorb, and it provides, all of those nutrients that the baby needs. Now, it also is, of course, going to contain some extra benefits, such as antibodies that will help fight against certain infections, certain coughs, colds, such ear infections, things like that. And it mentions that many babies with CF grow well on breast milk, and it is encouraged wherever possible. So in this kind of situation, breast milk for the first 6 months should provide everything that your baby needs. And again, this is for a mom who is a healthy mother, but her baby is diagnosed with CF. If you're in a situation where your baby has CF and you have CF, that might be a little bit different. And I'm not even sure if that's how it works. But if that is the case, then you would want to go based on your doctors and the baby's doctors. Because again, you could both have CF, but then your bodies are affected differently by the disease. So just like an adult, babies that have CF have different energy needs. They might need extra, and so they might struggle a little bit with gaining weight. And in this case, sometimes just the technique of how you breastfeed can help the baby get more, and this would just be how they're attached and how they're positioned to get more of that fat and the nutrients from the breast milk. And doing the feeds as frequent as possible will also be good. So you want to make sure that the breastfeeding, the way that they are feeding is the most optimal for them, and also that they're getting the most out of the feed and that they're feeding frequently. And I had mentioned earlier that supplements might be necessary, whether it's the baby who has CF or mom, but supplements may be necessary for a baby who has CF just because of the extra calories that they might need. And it might be a little bit more than what you're able to offer. But again, this is something that the doctors can help you figure out, and a nutritionist. And if you've noticed that the baby's only taking small quantities, or they're not waking up for feeds, then this is something that you might want to discuss with your dietitian or the baby's dietitian, just to make sure that they're getting what they need. Make sure they're growing properly. And if they're not, then there's some techniques and things that you might need to do to ensure that. If you are a new mom, maybe you're pregnant, and you have CF, this is hopefully answer some of your questions. Definitely talk with your doctors. If your baby is diagnosed, talk with their doctors and find out what you can do, especially if you really want to breastfeed. It's possible. There just might be some other things that you have to do. You may have to supplement, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Or there might be just some special techniques to use while you're breastfeeding. And a lot of times, if you get that proper support, you kind of know what to do and you can kind of plan ahead and know what plan B is or plan C if things don't work exactly the way you would want them to. So again, I hope this video helps some of you. Look forward to more videos that will be out on different subjects on breastfeeding with certain conditions. And if you have any requests for videos, leave that in the comment section below as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.